Hello, we are going to look at the updates to the Daniel Clough SDXL bot for Discord. I have added a little makefile here, which is now a little over twice the total size of the Python. It's pretty extensive. You don't need all of that. You don't need any of that if you just want to follow the README as a tutorial, but if you want to quickly type one command instead of typing a whole bunch, then you can use it. Also, I added a Dockerfile so that you can just open everything in Docker and not have to worry about Linux containers. If you do want to use GNU Make, then you need to install it. Then you can check out the help commands I have here. Everything else is pretty similar. I think this was already there. I just collapse that, and this was already there, so now I've collapsed that, and so I've added all of this Docker stuff. You can install Docker through the instructions at the website. You can use the make docker install, or you can copy these in one by one. And you're also going to need the Nvidia container toolkit. You can install that here, or you can install that command by command. So the one thing that Docker does not do for you is getting all of the files. So you are going to need to clone this repository and also clone some Hugging Face repositories. Everything else seems pretty simple, and it's just a Docker compose up. Once all the files are in place, you don't have to worry about anything, just one command and you're good. The make up will allow you to use either Docker, or if Docker is not installed, then it's going to look for the LXC configuration that we have already gone over. Docker-compose.yaml. So this is a very simple thing. The deploy resources, this is all just copy and paste from the internet. If you're going to need to configure this in any way, you're going to have to figure that out, but this is just a standard configuration that allows the GPU to be used by the Docker container. Then I've got the models in here at this location and the images at this location, and you need to have those folders in there. Well, actually, the Docker Compose will create those folders, but you need to have the models in the directory. And you also need the .env file, which I explained how to set up in the last video. Without that, then you are going to have an error, so expect that. The Dockerfile is also relatively simple, so I start off grabbing Node, just grabbing the latest, then I install it. And after I install, I use LDD to call which node, so which node knows where the binary is and goes into this variable, and then I'm copying the full folder structure to dependencies, the deps directory here that we made, and using an awk to, well, first using the grep to get rid of that line, then using an awk just to grab the relevant part, which is the file path, and that goes in there. That goes on a loop to grab everything that is required for the binary. And then spinning up a new container that has the CUDA stuff in it, and that's just the base container because that's the smallest, and we're adding what we need. Here I'm just copying the dependency, well, copying the app that I installed with Node, and then copying dependencies to Node, updating and upgrading in order to install Python, which this is the part that you might want to iterate on to make a smaller container, but this is sufficient and very, very simple, fast. And that'll just about do it. I'll probably do another video that's going to go through this makefile here.